Okay, you remember me saying at the start of this marathon to check out the weaker episodes, and that Prisoner of the Judoon was the least episode I was looking forward to? The Eternity Trap is another one I was the least looking forward to. Personally, this is when Series 3 starts to fall down. Kind of. What is the one thing you remember about the Eternity Trap? What was the villain's plan? What was the point of this episode? Yeah, you thought the Eye of the Gorgon was forgettable? This one is entirely forgettable. The story is forgettable, the villain is forgettable, the monster is forgettable. Even for something forgettable, the story is very bland. A haunted house, mysterious whispers, and secrets and shadows which attract Sarah Jane's attention. What else? A monstrous feature appears in the night. The terrifying grasp of Erasmus Darkning reaches out from centuries past. Sarah Jane again discovers the secrets of Darkning, but are they too late? So, yeah, pretty generic haunted story. Sarah Jane serves as the non-ghost believer, Clyde and Ronnie are Scooby-Doo's gang who find the clues, Darkning serves as the enemy, so there's nothing really much to say about this episode. Okay, what's the main problems with this episode? The main problems with both parts is that part 1 becomes slow and boring, that the cliffhanger is even worse. Part 2 actually got us going, but then it gets so boring that the audience would fall asleep and you wouldn't find the climax that interesting. The truth about the ghosts and the house, well, it is a nice idea, but I think it would be far too late for the audience to get invested into it. The intro, which basically saw the history of the house, that was good. But if they were actual ghosts, that would have worked. They keep saying that they're not ghosts, and yet they appear as ghosts, and the episode even ends with them as ghosts at the window. So, they might as well be ghosts. There's also this red-eyed creature outside our house. Yes, I was scared of that as well, but you never see what he looks like, which is fine, but we never ever find out what it does, where it came from, or what it is. I still don't remember what it is. It's just a scary beast because this episode needs a scary beast. That's it. The villain is dull. I know he's played by Donald Sumter, and he's a brilliant actor, but just because you've got a Game of Thrones actor in a Doctor Who story doesn't make the entire episode good. What's the one thing you really remember about him? He's an alien wizard. That's it. I don't even know what his plan is, and I still don't know. However, I will say the scenes with him and Lord Marchwood is probably the entertaining parts, while they last. The only time in which he is fun to watch is when he makes his awkward evil laugh and talks like a diabolical demon, but at this point I don't even care, it's far too late for that. I tried so hard to see if there was anything good about this episode. I guess the first time I saw it, it did kind of scare me a little, but as I got older, it just went bland. The supporting characters are good. Not Lord Marchwood and his family, no, they're bland as hell. I'm talking about Professor Rivers and her assistant, Toby. Rivers is good as ever, but when she is pushed aside, Toby is actually a good character. I was a little thrown off by him at first. He didn't seem to be someone who is a scientific genius, but the more I watched it, I started to grow accustomed to him. He's doing it to prove his father and others wrong about the afterlife. And yes, his science mumbo-jumbo is actually neat. But as a whole, this is just a bland episode. There's nothing emotional, nothing original, nothing groundbreaking, nothing to remember. It's a completely forgettable episode of Series 3. In my opinion, it's a waste of time. But if you had no choice, I guess you could go for the set. Not the characters, not the monsters, not the fright, just go for the setting. At least the setting would look good. But that's entirely up to you. If you want to see a bland haunted house story for kids, then I guess you could check it out. But at other times, this is probably an episode worth skipping. Also, where's Luke?